Hopper and cranefly or daddy longlegs season is rapidly approaching, so it's time to learn how to knot pheasant tail fibers. I saw Al Beatty use this method several years ago and feel that it's the best for producing consistent knotted legs. Other methods certainly have merit and are worth trying to see what works best for you. All require a good bit of practice. A latch hook crochet needle is the key to this whole operation. I prefer the really small 2mm ones, like this. It's important that the latch moves smoothly and that the hook comes to a point. You want to start with a good quality male ringneck pheasant feather from the center of its long tail. Strip off the lower shorter fibers from both sides of the stem. If there's a more webby side to the feather, avoid using these fibers and go for the more individual fibers on the other side. I like to snip off the butt end of the stem just to make things more manageable. I'll then use pliers to crush the remaining end of the stem flat. Doing this allows it to fit in the jaws of my tying vise so it can be held firmly. Use the hook of the needle to separate out 2 fibers from the rest and pull them down. Bring the tips of the fibers around to the left and over top of the stem to form a small loop. Insert the needle with the latch open down through the loop. Then, roll it around to the left and use the hook to capture the tips of the fibers. Gently pull down on the needle to draw the tips down through the loop and form an overhand knot. Here's what it looks like really close up. First, separate the 2 fibers. Form a loop with the fibers crossing over top of the stem. While holding the tips of the fibers in your left hand, insert the needle down through the loop and bring it around to the left to grab the tips of the fibers. It's important that the formed loop initially stays behind the latch, then pushes the latch forward as the needle is withdrawn. Pull slowly and gently on the needle while forming the knot. An extra tug with your fingers will firmly seat it. Here it is again. Separate out 2 fibers to form a loop. Push the needle down through the loop and bring it over to the left. Use the hook to capture the fiber tips. Here the loop has gotten in front of the latch, which will not work. It needs to be behind the latch, like so, before you pull down on the needle to draw the feather's tip through the loop, as shown here. Here it is one more time, really close up, without any instruction. A number of flies call for pheasant tail legs that have 2 knots or joints in them. For these, use the exact same procedure. Just place the first knot in close to the feather's stem, then the second one out closer to the tip. Other patterns, like crane flies or daddy longlegs, call for a single knotted fiber. These are produced in the exact same way, but can be real delicate, so go slow and easy. Some patterns, particularly hoppers, call for thicker hind legs with big thighs, if you will. Here, you get hold of a dozen or so fibers and use the same procedure on them. Pulling the feather's tips through the loop to form the knot can be a little finicky. Just take your time and pull gently and smoothly. The leg can then either be stripped or snipped free from the stem. If the fine fiber tips are too long, break them off to length using your thumbnail. It will look significantly better than snipping them off with scissors. I like to make a whole bunch of legs at once, but rather than leaving them on the feather, I'll snip them off so as not to include the curlies. Then, I'll store them in a small tackle tray based on color, number of joints, and number of fibers. That way, they're ready to go when needed.